Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to turn this image into this image in just a few seconds using a free software. I came upon this video while watching a YouTube channel called Je Actu, and he showed this interview during his video, and I realized that it was a very flat image, very dull, because he shot it in what we call a flat profile, which is a profile that gives you a very neutral image so you can add colors afterwards. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to show you how to turn a flat image, boring image, into a nice little vibrant image in a few seconds using a free software called DaVinci Resolve. All right, so let's look at this image and see what we can do. First of all, it is a bit too blue. It is a bit on the blue side. The colors would be more accurate if it was a bit more warm. Like this interview that he showed during the same video, which was obviously color corrected, and it looks much nicer. So that's what we're going to do with this image. This is not a tutorial on how to use DaVinci Resolve, so maybe look into those videos first, but this is just to show you how fast and simple it is to retouch an image to make it look much nicer. All right, so we're going to start with this shot right here, and we're going to go to the color menu to start with our color correction. So on the right side here, we have what we call nodes in DaVinci, and that's where we're going to apply all the color corrections that we want. Alright, so this is what it looks like inside DaVinci Resolve. And first thing you want to do is make sure that you're on this color wheel menu here. The first thing we want to do is make sure that we have the correct white balance, which means we don't want the image to be too blue or too warm, but just perfect. And to do that, we're going to start by clicking on the white balance icon here and find something that is white in the room, if there is. And here I could go for the wall, I could go for his shirt on the right, his polo, or I can go on the seats, but I think those chairs are not very white, they're more beige. So let's start with the wall. I'm going to click on the wall and see what DaVinci does with it. Now we can see that the temperature and the tint has changed. It has added 89 temperature and the tint is at 3.74. So it means that it has added some warmth to the image and also some magenta to the image. And now let's try the same thing, but by selecting the chair and not the wall. All right, let's have a look at the result. And you can see that it has added less warmth to the image, 60 versus 87, and more green to the image because the tint is at -3. So we're having a different result depending on what we're picking in the image. And lastly, I want to test it on his sweater because I think it is the purest white of the image. So the image got a lot warmer than we did before. So let's have a look at those numbers. So the temperature is now at 188 and the tint is at -5. So we've added a lot more warmth to the image and a lot more green also, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I'm going to add a bit more magenta to it. I'm going to get rid of the green because that's not what I want. And I'm going to add also a bit of warmth to the image. So that's it for now on the color temperature. Now we're going to add another node next to the first one. So on the first node, we'll have the color temperature, and on the second one, we'll take care of the colors, the contrast, the saturation, and all that stuff. So you want to click right on the node and add serial and click on it. And that's it. All right, now comes the fun part. So what I'm going to do is go to the gamma wheel and then raise that one up a bit. So turn it to the right. You can see it made a bit of a difference. And then now I want to bring the lift down a bit to darken those shadows and give it more contrast. Now I want to go back and edit the temperature a bit. So I'm going to click on the first node to make sure that I'm only working on this node, which has the temperature on it. And then I'm going to bring up the temperature. So I'm going to give more warmth to the image. Now that I'm done with the temperature, I should have gone back and clicked on the second node on top, but like a rookie, I forgot. So it's not a big deal. At the end, it will be the same, but I just want to mention it. So now let's add some colors to this image to make it pop. We have two options now, saturation or color boost. And color boost is new to DaVinci, and I like it better because it adds some colors to the image without being too unnatural or too aggressive like saturation would. So that's what I use all the time now instead of saturation. All right, so let me delete what I did with the saturation. I'm gonna bring it back to 50, and I'm gonna add a bit more color boost. I was at 10, now I'm gonna go to 14, and look at that. The image looks great. All the colors are popping very naturally. And as I'm adjusting the colors, I'm also adjusting the color temperature, adding even more warmth to the image now that I can see more of the colors. And look at the before and after. I really like the results. All right, guys, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And if you like the results, let me know in the comments below as well. Hit the like button, subscribe if you really want to help out, and I'll see you in the next one. And in my next video, I'll try to do the same thing using iMovie, which is also a free software from Apple.